I'm Charlie Bright of Gold Derby, and today I am speaking with Justine Triet, the writer and director of the Palme d'Or winner, Anatomy of a Fall. First question I wanted to ask you is, was this movie, one of the things that's very striking about this movie is that it's in several different languages, not just French, but English and German as well. Was this movie always meant to be multilingual, or was that something that came about later in the process?
No, it was really in the core of the writing process in the movie, and the languages is really are really involved in all the trial, and I think it embodies in a way the difficulties of the couple of communicate, and so yes, it's really in the movie. And I think now, because I did the movie a long time ago, I think it's the defeat of of words, in this movie, and we try to reach the truth and to understand everything. And I think at the end, words are there to fill, to remplir, fill. To fill every lack of picture, truth, or thing like this. And at the end, I think it's yes, it's a kind of defeat. Yes. So languages, yeah, is really really important in the movie, of course.
So I'm curious, how did the idea for this movie come about for you?
Comment c'est venu? Oh yes. I think it was quite simple, just to do a portrait of a woman, but to go through the courtroom movie it's the other who are talking about her, and she's always in the position to justify herself, And for me, the idea of the movie, of course, it's to understand that woman and that couple, and to dive in this crazy family, and to take the time to really try to understand all this mechanism, And first of all, I think it was really the idea of that woman and the trial, and after came the idea of put her son, sorry, in the center of the courtroom, and to put him in the very very difficult situation, to put him in the situation to just receive all the craziness of their parents, on his shoulder, and to put him in the position to maybe at the end of the movie be like a judge, in the position to judge her mother.
So you were talking about, it's interesting, you were just talking about her son in the movie, played amazingly by Milo, I hope I pronounced this correctly, Milo Machado Graner.
Yeah.
Who's incredible in this movie. What was the process that went into casting him in that role?
First of all, we were looking for a blind child or a visually impaired child, so we spent a long time to go in place for blind child all in Europe. And after we didn't succeed to find him, because I think it was not a question of blind or not blind, it was a question of the part was really really difficult. And after we opened the cast to every children's, and after a few months, we were very very disappointed in a way, because we didn't find him. And at the end, just I think 2 months or 3 months before the shooting, we find him, and he was very different from the others. He was very I don't know, very, very clever. He has no cell phone. He was different from the other children's, and in a way he was very mature, and yes, and the very funny story, it's the first time I saw him, I didn't choose him because he was not so close to the face of Sandra Huller, so I was not seduced at the first moment. But I just walk in the apartment, and just the voice it was the voice of him who grabbed me and who grabbed Arthur, because Arthur was close to me, and he said to me, wow, this kid is really different, and the way he's speaking is really unusual for this age child. You know, he was 12 or 13, and yes, and after we go and we did a callback, and I was there, and yes, he was wonderful. He was wonderful, and so generous, and so yeah, really unusual, I think.
And the other part, we were actually discussing this before we started. The other person that I think is so striking in the movie is Antoine Reinartz as the prosecutor. And I'm also curious because it's such a distinct role. What went into the process of casting him in that role?
I love so much Antoine, because in life he's the opposite of this, you know, this kind of behavior. He's really kind and very he's the opposite. And at the first of all, I was looking for a non-professional actor, so I saw a lot of different actors without experiences. And I think they were good, but when I was in, you know, back home, I was looking at the casting footage, and most of the time I was really you know, I was like, okay, maybe in the editing room I will cut a lot, and it was not very good to think about this just before to shoot the movie. And when Antoine came, he was so passionate in a way, and so it bring me the rhythm for me. And I think even when I was in the editing process with my editor, we were very surprised, because when the trial began, it was really the rhythm and the alterity who start at this moment, you know, and the pleasure and all. I think he took a lot of pleasure to be like this, and yes, it was very important to have really a strong figure. A strong figure in front of Sandra, and a strong contradiction. So yes, he was very interesting in a way, and I think he invented a lot of joke and a little smart, really interesting thing in the courtroom. Yeah.
If there's one word I would use to describe this movie, I like to use the word ambiguous. And I'm curious as to, is there something about ambiguity that you're particularly fond of, specifically when you were crafting the script?
Yes, of course. I think the main thing was to not put Sandra in a moral part, in a perfection part, you know, and to put her in a, you know, Sandra is, for me, she's really adorable and very, I like her so much in the movie, but she's not perfect, and she has some yes, I don't know how to describe this, but I think of course she's ambiguous, even if when she's saying, okay, I didn't steal my husband, but she of course there is you know, there is an ambiguity around this, and I think of course she don't ask for the time, she doesn't ask for time, she doesn't ask for space, she take everything. I think she's not the, you know, so for me the writing his her character was really interesting, because I was obsessed by not create a you know, an angel or a perfectly virtuous character. And of course there is a lot of different for me, all the characters, I'm looking for this when I'm in the writing process. I'm obsessed by this, and not do a Manichaean movie, you know, just with, okay, the bad and the good character. So yes. But maybe you have another kind of. For example, for example, I think the fight scene at the beginning when I was writing this with Arthur, I think I was too kind with her, and I tried version after version to just to muddy them.
So as I said before, this film, you took this film to the Cannes Film Festival back in May, and and the film won the Palme d'Or. And I am just curious, what was it like being at that closing ceremony and receiving the Palme d'Or? What was that like?
It was totally crazy because I didn't know it before. I think few seconds before I received it. I received it. I think it was totally unbelievable for me. So I don't know exactly how to describe, because it was like it was not totally real for me, and I just realized this just now. I think it made me a long time to really realize and figure out what it means really. And I think yes, it was so beautiful. You know, it's a profession we are so alone during a long time. We worked alone, and I spent much more time alone than with people around me. And I think yes, of course, it's I know what it means when the movie is not really, you know, in the light. And I think, of course, it changed all the life of the movie, of course. And it was so beautiful to just and I'm traveling now again and again, and just people are always telling their story to me, their intimacy to me. And they are always like, oh, it's my life. I have it's like if you had put some microphone in my kitchen, or if, you know, there's a lot of people who say that to me. So it's really interesting, because it's like if now the movie is not mine, you know. It's
Well, Justine, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you all the best over the season. And to all our viewers, please make sure to like, subscribe, and keep going to Gold Derby to make your Oscar predictions in anticipation of the nominations coming out soon. Thanks so
thank
much.
you so much.